Hello there, welcome to ITV News Meridian in the Thames Valley.
Your headlines in the Thames Valley on the day the government announced a new plan to revive the NHS. The woman from Hampshire who remortgaged her house to pay for surgery abroad after being told the wait here on the NHS was over a year.
The lady on the phone said to me, it's 54 weeks for a wait for the surgery. And I said, oh, you're joking. You know, and I was in tears. I've been in so much pain. I was in bed. I couldn't do anything.
So John Medeski, former owner of Reading FC, seen here in happier times, urges fans to back the club's current owner as the financial crisis continues.
I just want to see Reading Football Club survive in the best way possible. And I think the only way to achieve that is working together.
Also on the programme, Cheers Medea's, the new inclusive pub in Banbury that's providing community support with a difference.
And ever heard of Maxi basketball? No, neither had we, to be honest. We'll tell you what it is and why so many people are taking it up. Good evening. A mother from Hampshire says she had no choice but to pay £15,000 for a private operation in Spain after being told the wait on the NHS would be more than 12 months.
Tina Somerville says today's announcement by the government of a 15-year plan to fill more than 100,000 roles will do nothing to help patients like her. The Prime Minister Rishi Sunak says the workforce plan is historic but won't be quick or easy. Richard Slee has more details.
The government says providing many more doctors and nurses will reduce waiting lists. But patients like Tina Somerville have heard these promises before. She says that 2 years ago she had no option but to pay privately in Spain for an operation on her neck after being told the NHS wait time was more than a year.
And I said, oh, you're joking. You know, and I was in tears. I've been in so much pain. I was in bed. I couldn't do anything. I spoke to my husband and he said, no, we need to sort this. You know, you cannot carry on. You've got no quality of life. So we took the decision to remortgage the house.
Tina now has another illness and was told this time the wait was 44 weeks, but she could be seen next week if she paid privately.
How can a consultant you can't see for a year, yet you can see next week? It's just wrong and nothing's getting better with the government. You know, we've had all these promises.
Thousands of new doctors and nurses will be trained, and also there will be a greater effort to keep existing staff.
To do that, we're improving culture, leadership and well-being, giving staff more flexibility and control, and investing in their professional development.
At the Royal Berkshire Hospital in Reading, there is a dedicated well-being centre for staff, and the news that there will be more focus on looking after existing staff has been welcomed.
It's really, really important that the NHS and NHS trusts invest in the well-being of their staff, the physical and mental well-being of their staff for the long term. It can't be a fad after COVID, and I think the workforce plan published today actually really references that.
At the moment, half of all doctors and nurses working in the NHS come from abroad, and it's claimed that the eventual introduction of more home-trained medics into the NHS will have an impact on waiting lists.
It, in conjunction with all the other work that's going on, will make a big difference, because ultimately the NHS is only as good as its people, and our ability to cut through the waiting list is only as good as the people that we've got to work there.
How hopeful are you that this time the promises will be followed through?
I'm very hopeful that people 10 years down the line, you know, my children, my grandchildren, this will, you know, they can get an appointment for these sort of things, but I'm not holding my breath.
Richard Slee, ITV News.
Next, Sir John Medeski, the former chairman of Reading FC, is urging fans to support the club's owner, Dai Yong, despite calls from some fans to sell up.
The Royals, who were relegated from the Championship last season, have been served a winding-up petition by HMRC over unpaid tax bills. They're also facing a string of charges handed down by the English Football League, including failing to pay staff and players on time.
Well, Mel Bloor is live at the stadium for us tonight. Mel, this is the first time we've heard from Sir John about the current troubles facing the club.
Yes, Matt, he's been speaking to me at what's an incredibly worrying time for Reading fans. The fear is that the club could enter administration. I mean, that's worst case scenario, but it's a devastating prospect, heartbreaking. In fact, the consequences for the town would be huge, which is why, as we reported yesterday, the leader of Reading Borough Council has even written to the government asking for help to protect the club. But look, it's not the first time the club has been issued with a winding up petition, and it's avoided total collapse on previous occasions. Nonetheless, fans are pretty angry about what's been going on and calling for the owner, Chinese businessman Dai Young, to sell up. Here's what Sir John Madejski had to say about the situation when I caught up with him here at the stadium earlier this afternoon.
I share the deep concerns and frustrations of the fans, and my sympathy goes out to all the loyal staff, many of whom have been here for many, many years, and this uncertainty is very, very bad for morale here and so on.
But what about a change in ownership? Would that help the situation?
Well, it's up to Mr. Dai. Now, what we've got to respect about Mr. Dai is that Mr. Dai's owned the club since 2017 for 6 years. Since then, Mr. Dai has put in well over 200 million pounds in 6 years. That's a lot of money, and I think we should respect that fact. He may have got it wrong in terms of the people, his advisors and so on and so forth. However, we do have arguably one of the best training grounds in the country, and I think to demonstrate against Mr. Dai is not the right thing to do.
You, of course, oversaw the most successful period in Reading's history. It's got to hurt to see the club in the state it's in.
I just want to see Reading Football Club survive in the best way possible, and I think the only way to achieve that is working together.
The thoughts of Sir John Madejski there. Well, let's now speak to Nick Halton from the pressure group Sell Before We Die. Nick, you just heard Sir John there say fans need to be supporting the owner. Will you listen to him?
Mr. Dai has put money into the club, but he's not done it sustainably, which is the crucial element of that. Free winding up petitions is unacceptable. Never any communication from Mr. Dai, and he's now toying with the future of the club. We've lost complete faith in him, and the trust has now gone, unfortunately.
If he doesn't sell up quickly, this growing disconnect between Reading and its fans is not going to help the club bounce back from relegation, is it?
It won't, but it is back the team, not the regime, and that's what we'll continue to do throughout the season, and hopefully the club can get through this tough time, as well as the staff and the supporters, if we stick together.
Brilliant, thank you, Nick. Well, what now for Reading? Well, the League One season is fast approaching, but what's happening off the pitch is going to be the club's biggest worry right now.
Yes, absolutely. Really interesting interview, Mel. For now, thank you very much indeed.
More of the day's news now, and nearly 18% of people who live in the Thames Valley have been a victim of crime, according to latest figures. 8,000 residents have responded to the poll, which was launched by the Police and Crime Commissioner, Matthew Barber. The three most reported crimes were dangerous driving, criminal damage and fraud. 76% of people said they were responding, so they have a high level of trust in the force. The Commissioner says the survey will help tackle crime and improve communication.
The University of Reading has been ranked among the top 200 universities in the world. The QS World University Rankings has placed Reading at 169 globally and 26th in the UK, performing well in subjects including business and management law and computer science. Oxford is third position behind Cambridge and Massachusetts in the US. Now you're watching ITV News Meridian in the Thames Valley. Still to come on the programme.
Thank you for being a friend. I want to thank you. Thank you for being...
The Children's Choir in Bracknell performing for care home residents as part of this weekend's Thank You Day.
And for more news, head to our website. If you have a story for us, give us a call. And remember, you can also follow us on social media.
Now the ITV Evening News continues with the national and international stories at 6:30. With the details for us tonight, here's Lucrezia Millerini.
The Prime Minister's plan to fix the NHS. Rishi Sunak says he'll double medical school places and expand training to stem the staff shortage crisis, but critics say it won't be a quick fix. Also, France on fire. Hundreds arrested after a third night of violence, while the president's criticised for going to an Elton John gig. Kevin Spacey up in court as he faces sexual assault charges. And the final test for the Lionesses ahead of the Women's World Cup. Join me for those stories and more at 6:30.
But first, more news from around the south. And Thames Water has a new chairman just days after its chief executive, Sarah Bentley, stepped down amid increasing concerns about the Reading-based company's financial stability. Sir Adrian Montague, who was previously the chair of Anglian Water, will take over the role on July the 10th. It was revealed this week that the company is in £14 billion of debt, but the government has said the customers will not see their water bills or their supplies affected as a result of the financial troubles.
The future of the Bournemouth Air Festival is to be discussed at a council meeting next month as the local authority tackles a budget shortfall of £44 million. The free event attracts around 1 million visitors, but the BCP leader Vicky Slade says it's heavily subsidised by residents and future options for the festival will be discussed on the 26th of July.
A new table and chairs has been donated to ambulance staff in Oxfordshire after their garden furniture was stolen. It made up part of a new outdoor area for paramedics in Bicester to take a break from their pressurised roles. However, after an appeal on social media for their return, a new refurbished set has been donated by the non-profit organisation Bicester Green, which repurposes and repairs items. That's very kind of you, isn't it?
Now, regulars of a community group in Oxfordshire are raising a glass to their new pub room. Cheers Medeas has been built for users of the Banbury Community Support Service, who say they don't always feel comfortable in a normal pub environment.
Now that the snacks and non-alcoholic drinks have the final approval, today the pub could officially open, and Cara Digby was there.
What started out as just an idea 6 months ago has become a reality. The official opening of Banbury's newest watering hole, Cheers Medeas. It's been designed by and for the users of Banbury Community Support Service. Staff currently work with 44 people, including those with learning disabilities, mental health concerns and people living with dementia.
We do go to your regular pubs, but we have some people that we support that find that really difficult. So too noisy, the lighting's not good, and they want to express themselves freely and not be judged. And I think, if they want to make lots of noise or they particularly feeling uncomfortable, they can leave at any time, but they're still in their safe environment. It's created so much, and the people we support work behind the bar, so it's making way for people to be in employment in the future.
Everything here in this reimagined space has been the result of donations from the community and funding from the Friends of Redlands charity. It's got a karaoke machine, non-alcoholic bubbly, and even those little cocktail umbrellas. So what do the punters like the most about it?
Playing games with people, even our staff as well. It's a good place to meet friends.
I like working behind the bar. I've done that a few times. I like putting the pints and everything.
For the staff, parents and carers, they know the difference this place will make to their loved ones, making the hard work that's gone into it so worthwhile.
The care industry has suffered really tough since COVID, and actually it's been really hard to recruit. And as you can see, I get paid for this, and I think there's no job, there's just no fulfilling job like being in care. So yeah, I just say to anybody, care's fantastic.
So guys, I love what you've done with the place. I can tell you're going to have lots of fun here. So there's just one thing left to say, and that's
Cheers Medeas!
A lot of fun.
Yeah, fun was had by all this afternoon. Very good. Now, with Wimbledon starting on Monday, all eyes have been on Eastbourne this week, where some of the world's top female tennis players have been battling for the crown.
It was semi-finals day today, and at Eastbourne for us now is Andrew Pay. Andrew, gearing up to be a fantastic final tomorrow.
It certainly is, Stacey. At that final tomorrow will be between the American Madison Keys and Daria Kasatkina from Russia. Now, 6 of the world's top 10 female players have been taking part in this tournament, and the semi-finals saw some brilliant tennis. Are you looking forward to it? It's going to be tough again.
Well, it's never easy, to be honest, and yeah, Madison, she's a very good player, and I mean, it's going to be a good final. Everyone wants to win and go with the title to Wimbledon, so it's going to be a very tough match, but I think it's going to be a good challenge for both of us, and yeah, let's say the final match here in Eastbourne, and we're going to enjoy it.
Is it good preparation for Wimbledon?
Amazing, a very good preparation, of course. London is just 2 hours away, so everything is the same, course, balls, weather as well. So yeah, the most important is it's very close, and yeah, as many matches as you play on grass, it's better because it's always every hour on grass counts.
And this tournament itself, Eastbourne, do you enjoy coming to Eastbourne and playing tennis?
Yeah, I mean, I like Eastbourne. It's a very nice tournament. It's a very nice city. Everything is so close. It's so convenient, and we have a sea. And the tournament is just great. We have a lot of courts, and I mean, the tournament is improving year by year. And yeah, it's it's a great place to spend your Wimbledon preparation, let's say.
And I just caught up with the tournament director, and I asked her if this week has been a success.
I would like to think so. We've had a lot of sunshine this week, even if it's not on show right now. The fans have been out in their numbers. We've had capacity crowds. We've had some great tennis on display, and I think we've really showcased world-class tennis here in Eastbourne this week.
And as we're saying, the finals tomorrow, what can people expect?
The sun to reappear, I hope, and just a great fitting to what has been a phenomenal week of tennis. More thrilling action on centre court as we draw a close to this year's tournament.
Now from the tennis to Maxi basketball. It's for players aged from over 35 to over 70. And teams here in the UK are preparing to go over to Argentina for the World Championships later this summer. Here's Charlotte Wilkins.
In this sport, age is just a number. This is not just basketball. This is Maxi basketball.
So it is a movement that encourages people to continue playing basketball beyond standard local league or national league or international level.
Sadie Mason, who plays in the over 50s category, started playing basketball aged 11. Over the years, the sport has taken her all over the world.
I got the bug for it, and as I got older, I played internationally with Great Britain and England up until 1995, and you think that was nearly 20 years ago, and I'm still playing. So, not only is it good for the soul, it's great because you can play against people of your age who are still playing competitively, and it's great for female players who often give up because of family.
It's been amazing to be able to come back and play at a high level. I played National League 20-something years ago for a long time, and then slowly started to kind of life takes over and gets in the way. But to be able to come back and play at a high level again, local league's great, it's fun, but the level's just that little bit lower, so it's so nice to push myself again and play back to where I used to play.
Now these players, all from Sussex, are preparing to head back to where the Maxi basketball movement started, Argentina, for the World Championships.
Yeah, it's going to be good. It's going to be a tough competition, I'm sure, but we're really hoping we can improve on what we did in Malaga. Our 35-plus teams actually won gold for the women, silver for the men, so we're really hoping we can keep going and get some more medals.
It's exciting, it's fun, it's inspirational. Some of the players that are playing in the 50s, I just marvel at some of the way that they play still. So.
These players are proof that age is no barrier to competitive sport. But while I might meet the age criteria, I think I've got a long way to go before I can represent my country. Charlotte Wilkins, ITV News, Brighton.
Slam dunk. Well done, Charlotte. Good luck to all the Maxi basketballers and good luck to the finalists tomorrow here at Eastbourne before they then challenge at Wimbledon next week.
Absolutely looking forward to it. Andrew, for now, thank you very much.
Now, this weekend sees the 3rd annual Thank You Day aimed at recognising those people who help make our communities better places to live. And this year, there's a special emphasis on thanking carers who look after people with conditions like dementia.
Well, people are also being encouraged to use music to connect with others. For example, children are going to be singing in care homes all around the country. Kevin Ashford reports.
Thank you for being a friend.
Using music to bring generations together. Children in this Young Voices choir are performing for residents of the Bickerton House Care Home in Bracknell.
I think it's important so people understand what singing is and how special it is.
I enjoy singing and I like performing and I like seeing everyone watch me while I'm doing it.
Just seeing the children having obviously worked together to do that and being at a very young age being confident enough to stand there and sing to us. I thought that was just amazing.
Thank you for being a friend.
Similar singing will be happening across the country as part of this weekend's Thank You Day.
I think singing is uplifting, it makes you feel good, you're breathing together and singing together. People go away feeling empowered, more self-confident, and I think that's really, really good to do and share with your community as well, and sharing here today with older people as well.
Thank you for being a friend. The song at the centre of the celebrations has been recorded by veteran singer Tony Christie. One of the aims is to thank carers who look after patients with conditions like dementia. Some of those carers performed in the video alongside singing stars like Sting. Tony was diagnosed with dementia 18 months ago. So far the symptoms are being minimised by medication.
I don't feel like I've got it. I ignore it. Pretend I haven't got it.
And do you think the music in some ways helps with you coping with it?
Well, according to the doctors, yes. They said you're in the best business. Because of for dementia, music is one of the things that slows it down and helps it. So I'm very fortunate that that's my living is music.
Organisers say 15 million people have been brought together by previous Thank You Days. They're hoping for a similar impact on Sunday. Kevin Ashford, ITV News.
Thank you for being a friend. I want to thank you. Thank you for being a friend. I want to thank you.
Oh, thank you to all of the singers. They were brilliant, weren't they?
Yeah,
and
good.
it would have made a massive difference to all of those people in care homes. Pip's with us now. Pip, we'll get on to what's going on with the weather in just a minute, but first you've got something to share from our viewers.
I have. It may not have been particularly warm out there today, but something a little heartwarming for you. Take a look at this footage. This comes from Steve Wood. A family of foxes, mum, dad, and at one point I counted 6 cubs have been enjoying the warm days and mild nights of June in his garden in Hillhead. Now, increasingly, of course, technology is giving us a window on a world we perhaps wouldn't otherwise see. This is a prime example. Lots of play fighting going on there. I think mum and dad have their hands, or rather paws, very full, don't you think?
Yeah, great footage, really interesting. Now, not particularly warm weather-wise today, but of course we're approaching the 1st of July, which might make some people think about what was happening this time last year.
Yes, so exactly a year ago today, an American computer model started to hint that we could get up to 40 degrees Celsius in the UK. Of course, at that point it was unprecedented. We weren't sure if it was even possible, but it was 40.3 Celsius just 2.5 short weeks later. If you've forgotten what that looked like, take a look. Robin Boltwood was among many people heading to the coast looking for a sea breeze. And of course, it was all about keeping the pets cool, wasn't it? Jan Cat with Bailey and his fan, and the aptly named Chili, courtesy of Barry Hollis, keeping cool under a cold towel. I think we all need that. A couple of months of meteorological summer left, but at the moment, nothing quite as hot as that hinted in the forecast.
OK, well, let's see exactly what the full forecast looks like for the weekend ahead with the details, of course. Here's Pip.
Whatever the weather, it always feels like home. Valent Heat Pumps and Boilers sponsor ITV Meridian Weather.
So the weekend is very nearly upon us and it's not looking too bad. As we head into tomorrow morning, still some cloud and rain on the scene. That will quickly clear, then dry, bright and breezy conditions to follow. And actually where the best of the sunshine comes out, feeling a little warmer than it has done today. So this has been the setup today. We've been squashed between fronts and those fronts have been providing the focus for quite a bit of cloud and some outbreaks of rain. But as I said, those will clear away tomorrow morning. Thereafter, a bright and breezy northwesterly flow. And then just worth noting, as we head into the early part of the new week, a couple more fronts drifting our way and those perhaps providing a focus for some showery conditions. But out there at the moment, cloudy skies, outbreaks of rain on and off through the night. But with the cloud cover and a fair old breeze, it will keep the temperatures up, a bit milder than last night. Lows for many of us around 15 or 16 Celsius. Tomorrow morning then, quite cloudy initially, still 1 or 2 spots of rain at first. But as the day wears on, conditions will soon start to improve. Any rain clearing away, the cloud thinning and breaking, some lovely sunshine coming through. And in the best of the sunshine, out of the breeze, not feeling too bad at all. Temperatures a few degrees higher than today, peaking at around 23 degrees.
Valent Heat Pumps and Boilers sponsor ITV Meridian Weather.
Hello, summer. Piri sponsors ITV Pollen Count.
Of course, grass pollen is still causing issues for plenty of hay fever sufferers, some weed pollen thrown in for good measure too, and over the next few days it looks as though levels will generally be high across the board.
And we have made it to the weekend, and in just a moment the ITV Evening News, that's with Lucrezia Millarini.
For now though, from all the team here, that is all we have time for tonight. Have a fantastic weekend. We will see you very soon. Take care. Bye-bye.
Good night.